Hello everyone, welcome back to a midweek sales video. These games should all be 50 to like 99% off, and thank goodness our eShop savings are back online, so SwitchUp.gg is back up. You can save 5% once again. Apologies for the time that was down, but yeah, that was kind of out of our hands. So yeah, you can go and use that. All the links are down in the description.
Yeah, we've got 10 games here, as Mark mentioned, between 50 to, well, as much as you want % off. Most of them are about 60, 75% in that sort of range. So which games have we picked? Well, let's find out.
Let's kick off then with Hogwarts Legacy. This has been seeing systematic drops over the months. It's gradually gone down and down and down. And I think now we're down to about £19, something like that. $19.99, that's not bad at all. For this type of game, it's a massive open world. Think along the lines of The Witcher 3, but with a reskin and all the Harry Potter goodness, if you like that kind of stuff. Yeah. For 60% off, definitely one to consider. It has had a number of patches. It actually had another one the other day that I'm going to look at, but that sale goes on until August the 18th.
Next then we have Borderlands 3. I think a few of the Borderlands games are on sale. I saw the Handsome Collection on there as well. This is the latest to hit the Switch, of course, and it's currently 60% off, which is a pretty good saving for a relatively new game on this console.
It's a really good saving. Yeah, down 60%. I did mention on Sunday there is a bundle. If you've not got any of the Borderlands games, there's like a bundle that has 1, 2, 3, and then 3 of the other like extras that they added on for like 30 quid.
Oh wow, okay.
It's insane, yeah. So that you save loads there. So if you haven't got that, then go that way. But otherwise, Borderlands 3 on its own at this price is definitely worth it. The only thing to consider is that the Nintendo Switch version only accommodates 2 players in LAN or online co-op. You can't do 4-player.
Okay, with that considered though, it's 60% as we said, and it goes up until the 15th.
You're making me sound awesome. I like it.
We then have Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. This is the anniversary edition. This is the first of the Danganronpa games. I believe they're all on sale, but if you're going to talk about one, I suppose you might as well start at the beginning, especially on a game that's as story-based as this. So the idea here is that it's a visual novel, I should say, where you wake up in a scenario where you're trapped in a school and you're basically told that the only way to be allowed out is to kill the other people that have also woken up in this school with you, and obviously then chaos ensues from there. It's a fantastic story, very good game if you like your visual novels, and even if you're on the fence with them, this is probably a good one to try. That's 65% off as it currently stands, and that one goes up until the 11th.
And I am this school's headmaster. Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Then we've got Rutger Hauer's game, Observer, which obviously features him as the main protagonist, who's a detective trying to search for someone's missing son in a block of futuristic flats. He basically taps into the memories of either recently deceased or sometimes more alive individuals and then explores how they came to die. It's very cool. It has 3 different light scanning modes. It's all done from a first-person perspective. Very Blade Runner, quite grim, quite dark. Doesn't look the best on Switch, but it's good enough, and that voice acting really does, it's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, it does, it elevates it for sure. That one goes on until the 25th, so you've got a bit longer for that one, and it's 85% off.
Now I wanted to talk about Darksiders 3. I did mention Darksiders 2 in Sunday's sales video, but the third game doesn't get a lot of mention. I think the first one is just universally loved. It's a very good game on Switch, very polished. The third one actually is the least polished of the 3 in terms of performance, but I like that it took mechanics in a different direction. This one feels more like a Souls-like, so straight away you're going to know if you like that or if you don't. It follows the same tropes, the same types of things that we spoke about in our recent Souls video, actually.
We did indeed, yes.
Well, you should go check that out. But yeah, it's a good game still. It's 60% off. It's down to that kind of price where I can actually recommend it. I wouldn't say at full just because it's not as polished as it should be. But complete open world, backtracking, you know, go all over the place fighting horrible enemies. And the sale for that one goes on until August the 14th.
Bit of a change of pace now. We've got Rune Factory 4 Special, I think it's called. You've got a few of the Rune Factory games on the Switch now. You've got 3, 4 and 5, I believe. 4 was the last one before they changed and went to a more 3D perspective. This is a more traditional kind of top-down view. It's a port from the DS, I believe it was, or I suppose technically a bit of a remaster. It looks its age, don't get me wrong, but the gameplay is very strong. And at, 80% off, if you have any sort of love for farm life simulation, and of course this has that more ARPG side to it too, that's a great price. And that one goes on until the 21st of August.
Lovely stuff. All right, off the back of that then, I want to talk about Road 96. Now, I'm a big fan of walking sims. You know, I do like that kind of experience. This is a hitchhiking sim. So you're heading towards, well, if I tell you that, it'll kind of spoil it, but you're heading towards a safe place, shall we say, and you're hitchhiking your way there. Along the way, there are different encounters and scenarios that will happen. Very much plays on the downtime that you might experience if you were going on a road trip. So you'd stop off, spend some time chatting to characters at a gas station and stuff. I just said gas station. At a petrol station.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, sorry about that everyone. And just, it focuses on, I guess, the more mundane to bring out the humanity. It's 75% off until August the 11th.
Where do you think you're going?
We then have Wreckfest, which is down 55% at the minute. I've not played this one, I do own it. I know you've played it though. I think you might have reviewed it or done a performance review on it or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a review of this one. It comes from a team who created one of the most famous PC racing games that use real-time physics, like they had crumple zones on vehicles and stuff, and no one thought it would run on Switch. It's really good actually, very fun game. It's got like little, aside from the main racing, it's got weird little events, like you can ride lawnmowers and you're all like running into each other and stuff, and it has one of those big, you know, the big arenas and you're just trying to crush each other into nothing.
Yes.
It's like Destruction Derby back in the day on the PlayStation. What a game that was.
That was a good game, for sure.
Was that Codemasters? Might have been.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know. And Toka Touring Cars. I used to love that as well. Great game. Colin McRae. Man, turns out I liked racing games. Happy days. But yeah, this one, Wreckfest, is one of my favourites on Switch actually. If you want those, I say more realistic, it's a bit like slapstick realism, but you know, you want those crumple zones and all that stuff. It's 55% off, and that goes on until August the 11th.
There was a time with that one that the physical edition dropped to stupidly low amounts. I remember picking it up for less than a tenner, about £8. I don't know if that's still the case. They might have been trying to sell it all off, you know what I mean? But it might just be one to have half an eye out for in physical shops as well. The penultimate one we have is Atomicrops, which is 75% off. This is a roguelite set in a post-apocalyptic world where you need to protect your crops from a number of different mutants that are trying to attack you. You'll go to different biomes and kind of find resources to upgrade every time you go on a run. You go through the seasons, which is kind of your progression through each run, and every time you go back to base, if you like, obviously you can do bits that are a bit more permanent to then go on future runs. This is a decent little game, you know, in a sea of roguelites. This definitely is top end, certainly, you know, upper middle half, if that makes sense. Good game, 75% off until the 11th of August.
Alright, let's finish then with a hidden gem. It's a game called Solar Ash. Glen, have you ever seen that before?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
No.
It's from the same team that made Hyperlight Drifter.
Oh yeah.
And it released just at a silly time. No one covered it. I played it about a year ago and was like, this is decent. Who's made this? And then obviously looked to see the pedigree and was like, wow, okay, this makes sense. It very much looks like a 3D Hyperlight Drifter. You've got freedom to move around. And actually, if you've played Wavetale, it kind of feels like that as well, because you skate across the land. It's really nice. Very good game. It does have action in there, combat. Kind of zip line your way around, and yeah, I would say it kind of qualifies perfectly for a hidden gem. It also doesn't outstay its welcome. I think it takes about 6 or 7 hours to finish. At 62% off, yeah, nice. That's the cheapest it's ever been, and that goes on until August the 11th.
Lovely stuff. That's our 10 games for this midweek sales video. Do let us know of any that have caught your eye on the eShop. Stick it all down in the comment section below. And if there's a game here that you've played that you want to recommend, or otherwise, of course, again, put it down below.
Yeah, I will say that maybe some of these will only be available in the EU regions. If that's the case, you've got two choices. One, don't buy them. Or two, buy some eShop credit from our website and then set up a new eShop account. Perfect. Happy days.
You could move to Europe.
Or you could move.
It's the third one. That's
yes.
Probably less practical.
You're welcome.
Just it's an option.
Yeah.
Just quickly again before we go, don't forget that if you are looking for eShop credit, our website is down there. There's a link to it, and you can get yourself 5% of your purchase price back in cashback when you buy eShop cards. There's other links down there to bits and bobs, such as Play Asia with links and discount codes. A quick thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.